Hello, Melinda Stewart.
Hello. Hello, everybody.
Alright, hello, booktubing world. It is I, Capri Nicole, and I am back with another video. So welcome to Melanin Book Magic. This is the first video of my marathon. It's going to be really black, it's going to be really extra, and it's going to be amazing. So today I have my beautiful mother here with me. We're going to be doing an interview about her book that she recently self-published, and I'm so proud of her. So I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of content, a little bit of understanding about what her book is about. So yeah, let's get into the video. Introduce yourself to my channel.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Melinda Yvette Stewart. I am a playwright, a poet, a songwriter, and a mom,
and a great mom at that. A great mom, okay?
A mom and a grandmom. And I just do my thing.
This is the book, by the way. I have it propped up so you guys can see it in the background. You know, Melinda Y. Stewart. I have a beautiful picture right here. I have my copy. If you don't have yours, every single video that I do, I leave the link to her book in my description box. So if you want to check this book out, buy what my mom summarizes it as, you can. Tell us a little bit about this book.
This book, Let It Go Now, is about relationships. And I feel like the most important relationship which opens the book is the relationship that you have with yourself. It's important to make sure that you like, love, and respect yourself before getting into any relationship with anyone else. And that is a process. And a lot of times we're so busy looking for someone to love us, we forget about the importance of loving yourself.
Yeah, self-love.
Yeah, and by that I don't mean like getting your nails done, getting your hair done.
This is the thing. A lot of people think that self-care is like maintenance. And to certain people, self-care might mean maintenance. I was listening to a podcast the other day where they were talking about this. Like, self-care isn't like a list of things. People think that self-care is, oh, did I do a mask today? Oh, did I get my nails done? Did I get my hair done? Like, self-care isn't always about you spending money on stuff. Sometimes you can just go outside in your backyard for free and just close your eyes and take a second to give yourself the focus and ground yourself within the earth and within that specific space. That's free, okay? And that's still self-care. It's like, it's about taking time to yourself. There's a lot of parents that get overwhelmed because they don't give themselves self-care. And because you can't throw a mask on your face while your 2-year-old is in the background screaming, that doesn't mean you're not giving yourself self-care. Find a way to separate yourself. And obviously I read my mother's book because, you know, it's the best. But in her book, a lot of things that she pointed on was about, are you good? Like, people get so wrapped up in, am I in a relationship? Is my relationship great? But it's like, are you good? You know, like, are you making sure that you're happy? And people forget about themselves a lot of the times because they get so wrapped up in other things, but you have to make sure that you're happy within yourself.
Absolutely. The key, what I think is important is, are you happy? And then when people come into your life, they will add to your happiness.
Yep.
I feel like self-love and self-care, it's important to have mental health, to have peace. If you're in a relationship with someone, are they adding to your peace or are they disturbing your peace? Now, I think it's important, like I talked about the levels of liking, loving, and respecting yourself. It's important to make sure that you've given yourself peace, you've given yourself joy, and then someone that enters your life will add to what you already have. A lot of times in relationships, we expect somebody to make us happy.
Yeah, like, how you gonna come up in my life and not make me happy? Yeah. Like, no. I remember was it Jada Pinkett Smith that was talking about it? Where she was like, you cannot go into a marriage expecting that person to be your happiness. You are your happiness. You have got to have your own happiness. You can't lean 100% on someone else to provide that for you.
Absolutely, because if that person's no longer around, what are you going to do?
Exactly.
And the other thing that I talk about a lot in this book is with making sure that you have something to offer and you're not always taking from someone else.
I feel like it depends on the person, because sometimes men will be like, oh, my girl, she got to be fine, she got to have a job, she got to have no kids, she got to have this, she got to have that. And you bring in a three-legged table to the relationship.
That's
like,
it.
what are you doing? you know, when you're in a relationship, that's 100% what this book is about. It's about making sure the relationship is giving you something and something that makes you happy. You can't be in a relationship giving your 100% and somebody is giving you 25.
Absolutely.
You know?
Don't settle. Don't ever settle. I think it's important to make sure that you know who you are and what balances you, because you have to give that to yourself first. And then when you're in the relationship, that person can add.
Right.
So if they're not there, you good.
Exactly.
Because you've managed and maintained a relationship with yourself.
Yep.
You have the security that is safe and that is healthy in yourself before going into a relationship, and not jump from relationship to relationship to relationship.
You gotta have that space.
It's important to date so that you can figure out what works for you
and what don't work
and
what
for you. Don't work.
And what don't work.
Honey, what need to hit the curve. You need to know what works for you, but to be able to experience different character.
Right.
When I was younger, I would always go for the bad boy, you know, because it was exciting, you know. But because we create each other,
right.
We shape each other, we mold each other, and really, honestly, when you're in a relationship, it's reflective. It's like a mirror. So there are things in me that he will invoke.
Right,
you
you
know?
Want to make sure you're bouncing off of each other.
Absolutely.
You want to make sure your relationship is
Building.
healthy, where you're like, ooh, I can take this, and this from them. They're teaching me all these things, and the other person can take this, and this from you. Like, no matter what the relationship is, man and woman, woman and woman, male and male, whatever, it's about taking things from each other that make both of you grow up to be better people. Like, if you guys are both bouncing off negativity from each other, neither one of y'all are going to get anywhere, like in the relationship or in life. So you have to make sure that you stay sound in who you are and make sure that the person that you're with is giving you things that will make you a better person.
Absolutely. If it doesn't work, you know, don't leave mad. You don't leave because
you take something from it. It doesn't matter how, even if things end terribly, you can take something from that relationship and be like, okay, I learned all these things.
Absolutely.
It should not shake your ground so much that it is life altering. Like, obviously every relationship, the way it ends, impacts you, but it should not be something that completely makes you be like, oh my God, the world is coming to an end. You have to know how to bounce back from it and take what you can from the relationship. What was the first book that you ever wrote?
This is it.
No, I mean like, just like, not even without it being published. I just mean
okay.
The first book you ever like sat down and was like, I have a book idea, and you just started writing it. Like, what was the first thing?
Poetry. It's always been poetry. I would sit down and just write composition books on top of composition books of poetry.
Yeah.
And my poetry is featured in the book.
Yeah, at the start of all of her chapters, she usually has like a poet that starts off what the chapter is going to be about. So you only will know if you go and pick up this book. How do you feel about the first writing that you actually did? Do you think that it got better, it got worse, it changed? Like,
my writings are therapy, y'all. I write because it's therapeutic and it helps me to get things out, and it helps me to evolve and to change, and I see my growth, and I see, you know, sometimes I prophesy to myself as far as the things that I need to become and that I am excelling to become in my life.
Yeah.
You know, it's important for me to always remain a student because nobody knows everything.
Relationships also that are friendships. Like,
Absolutely.
You need to really start,
oh God,
once you get older, and even when you're younger, like I know I have a lot of subscribers that are teenagers, you need to start picking apart the people that are influential in your life and be like, do I really need you around? Because I cut off so many people. People make fun of me because I only have like 2 friends, but those 2 friends I have are doing things in their life where I'm just like, I'm proud to have you as my friend. I don't need somebody to be a friend that isn't gonna benefit me or help me get where I'm trying to go. So with my mom's book, she talks about that a lot too. She talks about friendships as well, or your work relationships, or whatever.
your circle.
Yeah, your circle.
Who you become. So
Exactly.
you have to be careful with those that you keep the closest to you.
Yeah.
Because they'll either become more like you or you'll become more like them. And if they're broke and they don't want nothing out of life and they're negative, you'll become that. So you have to be cautious of who you have in your circle.
Yeah.
You know, if someone is in your circle and they provoke you in a negative way, it's time to assess that friendship, because it may be time, you know,
Just give them the deuces.
Yeah.
You don't need to keep people in your life just to have numbers. Give 3 things that represent what this book is about.
Self-love. I talk about healthy relationships, relationships with money, just different types of relationships that can either benefit you, make you, or break you.
What is one of your favorite authors?
She's not with us anymore, but it's
Maya
Maya
Angelou. Yep. I knew it. So Maya Angelou is your favorite author. What was one of the first books that you read by her, and what did you take from it?
Oh my goodness. I think the one I enjoyed the most is Gathered Together in My Name.
I read a book by her last year. I can't remember, but it was like a combo. Actually, I read 2 books with her last year. One of them I listened to on audiobook because I love her voice. Her voice is so powerful. And she sings in this audiobook too, so it was really nice. And the whole time I'm listening to it, I think about my mom because my mom loves Maya Angelou.
Yeah.
It was like a book of poetry, and I just like took my time with it because you just take so much from it. She's such a powerful person. I miss her. I miss her so much.
Yeah. I go on YouTube all the time just to play her back.
Yeah, just her voice is just it's just
It's
everything.
historic, and the things that she talked about in the 70s, in a way, is sad that we're still
experiencing it right now. It's happening all over again.
Racism and the injustices. But she always finds a way to tie things together and make it beautiful.
Yeah.
But then she's like, you have to live and keep your chin up and keep moving.
Right. So what is something that you do to build on creativity? Like, what is something you practice to make sure you keep your creative brain flowing?
I'm inspired by you guys, of course. My children inspire me. My grandchildren inspire me. I can just be having a conversation and be inspired. A book, watching a movie, listening to a song, because I write music and things like that.
What kind of music do you like to listen to for inspiration?
Beyonce.
Give me some Beyonce, okay, yes. I listen to her. Listen, when I be on the treadmill dying, I make sure I turn on Beyonce. I play all of her videos of her dancing. She's definitely my inspiration. I love me some Beyonce, okay?
I love Beyonce, but I listen to different genres of music.
Yeah.
I love Barbara Streisand. I love Patti LaBelle. I love Luther Vandross. I love Bruce Springsteen. I love Entombed. I love Miles Davis. I love jazz. I've been
listening to a lot of like classical music as like something that keeps me relaxed.
Yes.
When I be driving, I be ready to run somebody over. So I just need to make sure I'm kumbaya and I just keep everything together because I just be ready to fight. So I just listen to my classical music.
Yeah.
I listen to my classical music to focus on like reading too, because sometimes my brain will be like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. I put my AirPods in and I listen to classical music while I'm reading because it helps me. So I definitely think that music does like inspire creativity and stuff like that.
Absolutely. It's important to be in tune to your thoughts, whether or not they're negative, and reverse them so that you can manifest good things in your life.
Right. What is your writing habits? Like, do you follow a schedule, or do you just like, oh, I have an idea, I free flow, like write everything down?
I free flow. I could be up 3 o'clock in the morning singing and writing a song. I keep a composition book with me so it flows. My gift, it flows.